Yeah, this is it. We found it. Yeah, so like, you're probably not going to be surprised by me saying this, but Chaos Zero Nightmare, at least for what I have experienced, is the game of 2025 in the gacha space. Look, we've had a couple things released this year, but I think it's worth mentioning because no one seems to know this, or no one's really mentioned it. We haven't had a game stick around for longer than 2 months for all of 2025. It has been the deadest gacha year I think I've seen since the Genshin release, right? Before that, sure, we had some low points, but we have had something seriously wrong this year. Nothing stuck. We've had just moments of releases and like little hints of big releases, but they're looking to be 2026. Ananta, Arknights, Endfield, as a Premilia, list goes on and on and on. Everness. There literally are so many in the pipes to be made, but not right now. So that's why the title of this video, that you can probably tell, is that this is the game of 2025 in the gacha space. Chaos Zero Nightmare, at least from what I've experienced, from the little bit I've played from this beta, and I've played a little bit off stream, played it on stream. I played probably 5 hours or so now. It's just so pretty. I gotta give we're gonna talk about the good things and the bad things here. But yeah, more than anything, let me turn this music off just in case it's like overlapping my audio. Yeah, that's much better. This game is beautiful in many ways. I will talk about the good things and the bad things. I think for me right now, it's mainly good things because this is a test, and it is also worth mentioning, apparently we get this game October 15th, but we'll see if that's actually true. The character designs of RIP, for me, are insane. Look at Cassius. This guy here is one of my favorite designs in the game. Just look at what we're dealing with here. There is so much shine in this game, man. And the way the building works, because the thing I want to explain the most, more than just talking about the side of the aesthetics and that, is the gameplay loop, and also I've listened to a little bit of the story, but I haven't really locked in. I'm waiting for this to lock in. Usually betas, we just do gameplay. The gameplay is pretty cool. I'll give it that credit. The gameplay system is a card-based system. It's also, best way to explain it would be, it is a, oh, we don't care about that. Best way to explain the gaming system, also, by the way, look at the designs. It's very horror based. This game is very locked in on the idea of eldritch horror, Lovecraftian horror. It's a grittier game than what we see most, right? Because a game similar to this art style and similar to this type of playstyle would be Reverse 1999. But for me, that game didn't have all that in it. It was a cool concept, cool designs, but it lacked severely, especially when they just let the game rot for like 4 months after release. But it is a card building. Keep in mind, this game is actually a deck building roguelite. And the roguelike part is important because literally everything builds around this system. The base core gameplay with the story, the endless game modes, the final game modes, the end game modes, they are all building around the roguelite. And because of the roguelike feature, for those who don't know, a roguelite is every time you run it, it's different. You can make different builds, and you can kind of run in your own sense of the way your playstyle is. That's what a roguelike is. But it builds completely around that. So I'll let this as auto, and also I want to say, the way the UI works for this game, like if I want to use Cassius here, for example, he pops up on the screen to be used, and it's just like a drag and drop click for who is being used in that scene. And it's so stylistically unique, I would like to say, at least in the gacha space. From what we have seen, there is so much slop out there. It is very refreshing to see something that has some legit affection and like real love put into it by the devs. I know this has been built by the Epic 7 team, or partially Epic 7 team. I don't know if they left the studio or made it themselves, or whatever the production is, but this game is very, very cool. Alright, so that's wave 1 down. Okay, wave 2, whatever, probably going to lose. We're severely unleveled here anyway. But I'll just let this run, and I'll see ultimately if we get a win here. If not, we'll just GG go next. Oh, the ult! Boom! It's so hard, man. GG. Nice. Look, but just everything with the way the game is built pushes towards that it is going to be a game that can progressively get harder. From what we've experienced in this beta, granted the beta is relatively limited. And yes, I also haven't locked in and gotten to the end game of the beta. But from what I have played, it is decently easy. I know people have said later on it does get hard, and with the different game modes that we do have, for example, Simulation. Simulation is more the... Simulation's farming, what am I talking about? Chaos. The Chaos game mode I've heard does get decently hard because it is kind of the end game rerunning. This is how you get your elements, equipment, that kind of thing, get your builds. So like relics for Honkai Star Rail, you'd find them in here. Artifacts, Genshin, you know what I'm talking about, that sort of thing. Gear. I know gear can kind of be a bit of a hot topic in the gacha space. Some people hate the idea of RNG endgame. Some people love the idea. I'm on the fence. If it gives you a reason to log in, I think it's inherently a good thing, providing it's not so taxing to be a chore. But from what we know, it is really cool. And like the amount of things you can collect and just do per world, per run. Like you have an entire index of everything you can ever come across in a run. You have the different types of bosses, all the different events you can get, because this is a roguelite. I need to keep telling you that. There are straight up moments you might not even have a fight coming up, and you have to roll a dice, Baldur's Gate, Dungeon Dragon style, and it comes down to RNG whether or not you get something good or bad. And it's up to you if you want to take that risk. And I love things like that, because each run could be make or break on those sort of things. And then also, this is where you get materials. This is where you get artifacts, the thing I was talking about before, the relics. And it just goes on. The one complaint I have, it is relatively minute. Gold in this game is the second highest tier, and purple in this game is the highest tier. They're back to front of them from every other game we know and love. And at least me, when I do gambling, it really throws me out. So I think I have a heap of pools stockpiled here. Let me show you what I mean. When you pull in this game, you may think you've instantly won. So as you will see here, look, the animation's whatever, but you'll see here, bang. It goes gold, so you're like, okay, cool, sweet, 6-star, we've done it. But when you go through, you get nothing more than a 5-star here. By the way, whoa, hello. They're really gonna make her be built like that? Anyway, 4-star, yeah, 5-star's the highest rarity, sorry, I misspoke. Whenever you think you get a 5-star, it's actually a 4-star or in reverse until you get used to the system. Again, it's a visual change. It is not actually an issue. It's just, my brain is wired to know the difference between the two, and now I've got to invert it. Anyways, oh my god, Maribel, what the are you doing? Yeah, also, if you haven't been able to tell already, this game is very bricked up. That could be a good or a bad thing for you. If you don't like that thing, I haven't even explained the trauma mechanic yet, which yeah, if you're not a fan of that side of things, the trauma mechanic might actually completely break this game for you. Because the art you get in the trauma is a bit insane. Anyway, the animation's kind of cool. Let's see if we can get a 5-star real quick while I talk about this game. Oh, bang! Who we get? Rin again? Kind of a cool design. I do very much like the live 2D in this game a lot too. I'll give it credit there. But back to the deck building that I was originally talking about. The way the deck building works in this game is when you do runs, you get different developments for your save data, which is essentially loadout slots. Each time you do a run, you get a save data you can choose to save or discard, and then you can use that in the future, and you could have some that would work better than others for different team compositions. So an example I have would be, I believe, Tressa. I have this setup, which has 2 SR equipments on it, and a smaller deck, which could be good or bad. But then the base deck you have is pretty much every card there, but you have nothing else on it. You have no equipment and everything like that. So you can build these as time goes on to have different ones that suit different individual events. You see where I'm going with this? You can make the most insane team compositions and make it as customizable as you want, depending if you want to put the time in to keep making them. The replayability that this game shows out the box genuinely has me so excited to play it, and yes, I will be doing guides on it and everything like that. And I get right now I am kind of just ranting, but this beta literally is going down within the next few hours, so I just wanted to open it up and really talk about it while I could, because it is really amazing. The stylistic differences this game has for like most things is very interesting to me. Like when you're in the constellation duplicate area of things, you have their actual in-game sprite on the side. Like it's just got nice touches to things that make it feel unique and not slop. Because we've had so much slop in the past, right? So for me, it's a nice change, and I'm not here for the Guna, but I mean a little bit. If you say you're not, you're kind of lying to a degree. But the story as well. Chapter 1 mainly focuses on, yeah, everyone has trauma, and if you die, your heart is actually your soul, so it can be taken back, and the body just gets GG'd, and they can rerun the body. It's not really confusing. It's just I'm trying to pull it off memory after running it a few days ago. Like I will say, as you can see, the storytelling of the live 2D visual novel kind of approach, I'm never a fan of it. I think it's probably the worst way to go forward with things. But with the designs they have on the main story areas and like having the live 2D backgrounds along with the forefront characters, it is quite nice. It's better than what it could have been. We just unlocked something? Hold on. Whoa. We are now in the Ark City. I am confused. What is happening? Oh, so this is commissions. Okay. So all this is literally I put characters on it, I go done, and they run it, and then you get stuff back for it. Okay. I choose which one to stamp. So this reduces a day and you get more indexes plus policy points. This removes economic productivity. Okay, so this is more the actual base building side of it, which is interesting. I haven't seen anything on the base side yet. And as you can see here, you have direct grades that correlate to the effectiveness of what you are doing, which I'm guessing will directly in turn give you rewards. There's also a shop in the Ark City. Wait, what the is going on here? I'm guessing these are like gifts so you can get higher trust for your characters. Okay, nice. Damn, there is a lot here, man. Yep, there's vacation so people can spend time together. Ah, yeah, okay, this is just the dating. Okay, whatever. This stuff is relevant for us right now. But yeah, look, I'm sure you can kind of see with the approach of everything here. I think the closest relative you have to this game in terms of the art style and I wouldn't even say grinding loop, but kind of vibe. I would say it's actually Nikki. Just with the approach they've decided to take with it. And I don't think that's a bad thing, by the way. I think Nikki's a fun AFK game to kind of chill on. I would hope this game is manual because personally I like to play the games that I play. I know that's a hot take in this day and age. I actually wanted to play gachas, but you know, I would like the end game to actually kind of be difficult here, and why not just autoing up until the second last stage, and then the final stage is manual. We'll end up seeing, because I believe there might even be like an infinite stage mode, because it is a roguelite, that it does keep on going and going and going. But man, the designs are amazing. But yeah, as you can see here, I do have one character with trauma. Now that's Ray. Ray currently has reclusive behavior, where as soon as she goes into a fight, she has stress buff. Oh, well, she gets increased stress tokens. When you get maxed out stress, they enter a mind-breaking state. And what this does is essentially renders them useless, but there is a catch-22 to the mind break state where you can actually use it to your benefit if weaponized correctly, because some characters get buffs outside of the deep trauma state, and I believe there might even be a couple that do receive a different type of gameplay inside deep trauma, so there is a way to game it to an extent. So you might even have runs where you want every character to be mind broken in trauma at the start of every single fight, because ultimately, yeah, you might lose the first hit or two, but you actually end up turning the tide very, very heavily with all the buffs you do develop, starting with such a nerf. It's got so many good ways to play, and that's the one thing I do love the most about the game. And yeah, this is such a weird rant. If this is on YouTube, cool. I don't actually know if it is, because I haven't really done anything. I just kind of want to show you the animations and everything of it. The main thing I wanted to tell you is I will be covering this, and I'm really going to be locking in on it when it does come out in 2 or so weeks. Maybe even 3 weeks, depending when it does release. So I'm going to do the thing I did with Reverse if you guys do want to see it, which is make a video every day on the week of release up to release, and then we're going to do a big final release stream, because this game is so cool, and I think it deserves the love of a heavy grind like Reverse did have, okay? So we're going to do that. I believe a few people are going to be playing this. It is relatively popular due to the fact it is from Epic 7 devs, but we'll approach that when we, pretty much when we get to it. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go to a dinner. It's my birthday, so I just figured I'd get this out of the way while I'm here. And yeah, let me know what you think about this game in the comments below, because damn, if we want to talk again really quickly about the designs of everything, even when you take the gooning side of it, like characters like this, okay, maybe this one isn't making a good case, but the point is there's some nice designs in here, and I love this game so much. Let's see if we can wrap up a quick another 5-star. 4-star? Okay, another 4-star. Cook. New character. 5-star. Bang. Another one? Also, by the way, the rates in this game are okay. I will say that. Magna, we take those. Oh my days. Another one? Holy, that's a pull. One more time. We got a new one. My god. Okay, maybe this game is a bit bricked, but I would argue maybe gachas do need that to actually survive in this day and age, because you know it's never the plot that keeps people coming back. I will say that. Anything else maybe? Oh, we're burning through them. Oh no, come on, 5-star, 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 5-star. Oh no. Oh no. New 4-star? Nah, one chance. 5-star again. There's always a none. Oh, there's always a none, chat. What the hell? We have another temple as well, boys. Bang. Imagine back to back. Nah, too good. But yeah, one thing I want to quickly touch on is the actual rates here. So the way the game operates is a 50-50 system, but it is a 1% 5-star. So after 70, you do get direct guarantees. 70 is hard pity. I don't believe there is a soft pity build-in from what I'm reading. In this high chance combatant events, the base probability of obtaining a 5-star is 1%, with a guaranteed 5% combatant after 70 summons. So I don't believe there is one, unless it does kick in later, potentially. Maybe 60 to 50 is soft, but it's not directly confirmed from what I'm reading. 5% target increase by 4.5% each from the 58th. So 58 is soft pity, and 69th is guaranteed. Okay. Okay, and also, by the way, having 10 URs or 5 stars out the gate, oh, it means it's got a good roster in this game, man. It's got a very good roster in this game. So yeah, 60 soft pity-ish, 58 soft pity if you want to really be semantic about it. And it does, unfortunately, operate a 50-50 system. I know a lot of people do hate that. But depending on how generous this game is going to be, I don't think it's actually that terrible of a deal here. I do think we are going to be getting a lot of pulls for this game. And it's just going to be so goddamn fun to run over and over and over again. I don't know, like, what the real goal of this video was. I just want to tell you guys I actually am still paying attention to Gacha. It's been a slow year. But I think this is going to bring us back for a good end, okay? So when this game comes out, expect videos, expect lead-up videos to when the game releases, because I'll be covering those as well. Yeah, and I just will say, I love this game. Tell me if you agree, or if you don't, or whatever, and yeah, hopefully, if it does come out soon, we're in the like swimwear, baby. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.